VMP validation master plan is the major critical document in the pharmaceutical industry, and the purpose of this VMP is to defines the company's overall validation policy and strategy. It identifies facilities, systems, utilities, equipment, processes, and cleaning to be validated. And it applies to manufacturing, packing, testing, storage, and support systems. And the regulatory references for this validation master plan is International Council for Harmonization Q8, that is pharmaceutical development, and Q9 quality risk management, Q10 pharmaceutical quality system, and European Union good manufacturing practices Annexure 15 for qualification and validation, and United States Food and Drug Administration process validation guidance, and World Health Organization good manufacturing practices. As I mentioned, VMP is the major critical document, and the benefits also I'll explain step by step. In this document, first we are defining the scope and objectives. It clarifies what will be validated and why. Benefit for this defining of scope and objectives are focused efforts and regulatory clarity. And the second component is risk assessment. It prioritizes systems based on impact and risk. And the benefit for this section risk assessment is to efficient resource allocation. And the third component is list of systems, processes to validate. In this, we are categorizing equipment, utilities, and systems. And the benefit for this is a full visibility and traceability. And the fourth component is to validation strategy. In this, clearly we are describing approaching of IQ, OQ, PQ, revalidation of the validation strategy. And the benefit for this component is to standardized and complaint execution, and roles and responsibilities. In this component, we are assigning the ownership and accountability. Benefit for this section of roles and responsibilities are clear communication from whom to whom, who has to involve in this validation structure and governance. And the sixth component is to timeline and milestones. In this, we are describing set validation schedules and deadlines. Benefit for this is to timely delivery and progress tracking. And the seventh component is to documentation and review process. In this, we are defining templates, approvals, a flow, and archiving. And the benefit for this documentation review section is to audit readiness and data integrity. These are the few components we are describing in our validation master plan document, and these are the key objectives for that components. And now coming to the validation master plan structure. In this, first of all, validation of equipment and facilities. Validation manager is responsible for this. Plan schedule for these activities are important. And the second component is validation of utilities, in that water and HVAC. Here also validation manager responsibility is there. And validation of processes, validation manager responsibilities however is there. Plan schedule for these activities. And validation of cleaning, quality complaints analyst QA responsibilities will be there in this section. And validation of analytical methodology, quality control analyst QA responsibility will be there. And validation of business systems infrastructure, IT manager responsibility will be incorporated in this. And the last component is to verification of transportation, logistics manager will be involved in this. Approved copies shall be maintained, and QA is the responsible for approval of all validation master plan activities. These are the key components, purposes, and regulatory references structure for this validation master plan activity.